between how hard he works and how disconnected his family is from him, doesn't understand him. You know, but he talks about in the movie about how he's got to keep his job and he doesn't want to get involved in anything. He's going to keep his head down and he's just going to make money because he's married and reproduced. And he has to participate in the system. Needless to say, he gets woken up and the movie continues. So the characters move through and they meet a resistance force. They meet a resistance force and then they end up in a movie studio, which is where this signal is sent out. It's beamed up to a satellite or whatever, and that's how this signal is broadcast to confuse everybody, right? So they don't see the real world. They don't see this crazy, bizarre place with alien beings and them being brainwashed to marry and reproduce and to buy and consume and stay asleep. The control and surveillance super state that's really around them. It's a fabulous movie. But they end up in this movie studio, and Roddy Piper and Keith David, they realize they've got to get to the roof, kill the signal, and wake the world up. That's their mission. As they're running through the building, going through different levels, they run back into this woman again, who they ran into just, a couple of scenes before, and the same icy woman comes up to Roddy Piper and says, "I didn't know, I'm so sorry." You know, and she was holding a pair of the glasses. "I just didn't know, I'm so sorry I did that too." And he's like, "It's okay, baby." You know, and it's the usual bullshit. The man forgives the woman for fucking braining him upside the head and trying to kill him. Now she's a fucking Nawalt. Not all women are like that. Now she's not like that. She's not like everybody else that's confused by this massive brainwashing scheme. She pretends, ultimately, to be awake. She pretends to be not like all other women. So they get split up, then go to the movie studio. As they're climbing through the levels, the woman makes an appearance again. As Keith David and Roddy Piper are heading to the roof. Well, as Roddy goes up higher, she turns around to Keith David, puts a gun to his head, and shoots him. Representative of the woman in the man's friendship and in his life, getting rid of his allies, who are his friends, his brothers, his keepers around him, to remove any protection they may have. Very represented. Again, John Carpenter does a great job of exposing how feminism works in relationships and in a man's goals. So they end up on the roof. And Roddy Piper's got his glasses on, right, or his ability to see. And he looks at the satellite dish, and it's some kind of weird 50s alien-looking thing. It's really cool. Nice retro look. It's a great movie. And he says out loud, "Are you clear?" You know, asking for his compatriots behind him. And the woman answers, "Yeah, I'm clear." And he realizes the gig is up. And he turns around and she's pointing a gun at him. And they go through a little bit of dialogue. He ends up pulling a move and shooting her. Right? Because she is working on the wrong team. Once again, this is a great demonstration of how this world works. Of course, John Carpenter does it with artistic license within the story, but it is a Mgtow lesson. This woman had a chance to learn. She had a chance to come along. She saw the truth and pretended, and then decided to go the other way. That is, take the benefits offered by the system. The same way women today out there will say, "I'm not like that." They marry a man, and then they take the benefits the system offers them when they're presented, i.e. divorce, half the man shit, child support, spousal support, court orders, ruining the man's life socially, professionally, and then tying him up in court and making him pay her legal bills. So Roddy Piper does the Hollywood divorce, and he shoots the bitch. Very symbolic. I don't think men should go around shooting women, by the way. I'm saying this is what happened in the movie. It was powerful. Then he turns around and he shoots the dish. He shoots the dish, the satellite thing gets killed, the cops in the helicopter shoot him, he dies knowing he did a great job. He dies a man's death. And I know that's not understood by most. Most women, that is, and most people in this society, they don't understand the Viking death. They don't understand the warrior's death, the man's death. To live a life, to conquer, to complete a goal, the importance of it, how we're willing to put our lives on our line. On the line. And as men, if we accomplish our goal, we're willing to do so much and we're so capable and powerful. But there's that woman right behind you pointing a gun in your back, or standing there with a bottle ready to brain you, always willing to lie and take advantage of the system. It was so emblematic of the problem that Mgtow and men everywhere face. So it's really great. The signal stops, and now everyone on the street, everyone in business and life, can see these alien types, these bad guys. These bad guys run the agenda. And there's one of the last lines, if not the last line, is a nice-looking blonde woman riding a guy, fucking him on top. And she's grinding away, and she looks down, and she stops in horror because she sees this guy with this alien face, and he goes, "Hey, what's wrong, baby?" Everyone wakes up and goes, "Oh fuck, what are we doing?" And by then it's too late. Now you've got shit hits the fan on the planet. But Mgtow at the movies. Mgtow at the movies. The movie They Live by John Carpenter. It's about a freakish dystopian world. A crazy place. A world with ons and offs. It was the Matrix before the Matrix. It was called a B-movie, but it really wasn't. And Rowdy Roddy Piper actually said it wasn't a movie. It was a documentary about the way the world works. What they're showing in this movie, what they were showing, is not just feminism, but an overall agenda to control the world and to profit by it, by a few powerful elite who weren't really human. But what they did is they had an agenda and a program and a system by which to control everybody. And the movie made it clear, to me anyways, that feminism and the controlling of men through and with the aid of women was a huge part of that program. The indoctrination men receive and how they are told that they need to respect women, that women are safe and good allies in a man's mission in life. That you can help them. Not really. Not really. And that when given an opportunity, a woman will take the money and run. She'll look out for herself. Because they are not honorable the way men are honorable. Now, I'm not saying that all men are honorable and all men are perfect. I make no illusions about that, guys. There's a lot of fuckheads out there. Assholes, cocksuckers. I call them all kinds of names, and there's plenty of them. Men that are just as bad, just as dangerous, just as evil, just as shitty, just as backstabbing as feminists. But at the very least, I can deal with them on a man-to-man basis. And I fucking squared off and manned up with cops, with fuckheads, with gangs, everything. But with women, you're not allowed to do that because there's a second set of rules, and that makes them an exceptionally dangerous and vile enemy in this world. And it's not just an agenda about controlling our individual pocketbooks and our individual behavior. It is my opinion, guys, that as Mgtow, we're fighting a battle against an entire system and an entire agenda that is designed to control us, control the world, and bring it under subjugation. So we wake up and we see the problem that we individually face, the same way Rowdy Roddy Piper did. It was like, fuck, what is going on? I have an individual problem I'm dealing with. These individuals. And very, very quickly he sees a bigger picture. There's a bigger picture out there. It is a much more dangerous picture, and that feminism was just a smaller part of it. But it's a great movie. Mgtow at the movies. I recommend watching that movie if you haven't seen it. And if you have seen it, go back and watch it with Mgtow in mind, with men going their own way. Because that's what Rowdy Roddy Piper does. He goes his own way. When he sees the truth, he starts to live the truth. And again, the movie's an extreme example of that, and I wouldn't recommend anyone shooting up a bank, killing cops, or doing any of the crazy shit in the movie, but it's representative. When he faced the cops and dealt with them, he was dealing with unlawful authority. When he shot up the bank, he was dealing with the corrupt money system, the control system through money. When he dealt with the woman, he was dealing with feminism, the corruption and filth, the lies, the hypocrisy, the backstabbing nature of feminism and feminist women. When he got to the politicians, he ended up learning from them, but he didn't take them out because he knew he had to destroy the mechanism by which everyone was being controlled, and that was media and mass manipulation. It is a marvelous movie to see how a Mgtow character conquers and wins. And that's how we all need to look at our lives. We have an opportunity to learn, to see, and to start taking action. On the individual level, learn about all you can and take action as a man. Be prepared to take action. Life as we know it in our world is not about Hollywood cinematic dramatic expressions of what we really want to see. Life is about going through the motions day by day. But we can make a difference as individuals and change our own worlds a little piece at a time. And that's the battlefield we really are on. So this is John, host of Mgtow is Freedom. And Rowdy Roddy Piper would have said it. I know he would have if the line was in front of him. If some woman put him down and said, hey bitch, I've got the penis. Mgtow is freedom. Know your strengths. And always, man, get up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, I have the penis. And you make your own way. Go your own way, men. Semper Fi.